Hi guys, I'm Creech, and this is my vlog series where I take a look at my past to help figure out my future. Welcome to Rediscovering Me. What's going on, guys? Back for episode 5 of Rediscovering Me. Can you believe this is the end of my first month of this channel? Wow, the 5th episode of Rediscovering Me, my documentary series, plus literally the last day of the first month. My first episode debuted on October 1st. This one is coming out October 31st, Halloween Day. My late nephew's birthday, one of my favorite holidays. Um, it's just, Halloween's always been a special time for me. I love it. Sorry I'm not in costume. I recorded this like a month ahead of time. So I don't actually have my Halloween costume yet. So maybe check back around Thanksgiving and you'll see my Halloween costume. Uh, anyway, I thought, I know with Rediscovering Me, it's all about being out and about. But I thought for this episode, just to kind of give you guys an insight into who I am, I wanted to shoot down my list of my favorite movies to watch on Halloween. I'm going to do my top 10 list, but I've got like 5 or 6 honorable mentions right off the bat. I'm just going to throw up the movie poster for each movie, give a quick description of why I love it, and move on. So hopefully, not too long of a show tonight or today, but hopefully you guys will love it. I love watching top 10 lists on YouTube. Hopefully you do too. So here's my top 10 movies to watch around Halloween. So an honorable mention starting off right off the bat, The Craft. It's my wife's favorite movie, or one of her favorite movies. It's just an awesome movie. I I got to be honest. As a young kid, I kind of fell in love with the girls in this movie. As a older person who does drag, kind of wish I looked like half the girls in this movie. Anyway, moving on. The Addams Family. I put this as an honorable mention instead of a top 10 for the plain and simple reason. To me, The Addams Family. I watched it growing up, the original TV series. I loved the movies as a kid. This is not just a Halloween movie for me. I literally watch any of the Addams Family movies any time of the year, along with the old TV series. So that's the only reason it's not in the top 10 list. It's not a Halloween movie. It's an anytime movie. I'm not a fan of horror movies. I don't like slasher flicks, but you can't go wrong with the classic Halloween. Uh, I mean, it is the essential Halloween movie. It should be on anybody's list. I'm just not a fan of horror. That's the only reason it's not on my list. Edward Scissorhands, a love story. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. You'll notice several of Tim Burton's movies in my list. So, I don't know if this is actually classified as a Halloween movie. That's why it didn't make my top 10. But I kind of classify it more as a Christmas movie. But it's heartfelt. It's Johnny Depp, Winona Ryder. What more could you ask for, really? Corpse Bride, again, another Tim Burton movie. It ties in, to me, it ties into The Nightmare Before Christmas. I know there's a lot of fan theories out there about, between the two, but it's a wonderful movie. Actually got it on DVD one year for my birthday, I believe, and definitely one to check out if you haven't seen it. Casper, as a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, everybody loved Casper. It's your friendly, good-hearted movie. I'll be honest, as a kid, I knew kids that loved Casper. I liked the three brothers, the evil ones, but that's me. I was always mischievous as a kid. But anyway, let's get on into the top 10, I believe. Number 10, I put Sleepy Hollow. Again, I don't really go for horror movies, but I grew up reading Sleepy Hollow. I grew up with the whole story of the Headless Horseman and Ichabod Crane. When I was a little kid, 4, 5, 6 years old, I was already hearing that story. It was giving me nightmares then. So when you have Johnny Depp playing Ichabod Crane, I believe, who Johnny Depp is one of my favorite actors. He's hot as hell. I mean, he's a wonderful character actor. You just couldn't go wrong with it. I mean, it was just um, it was one of those movies that really made you experience a story that that I grew up on. All right, for number 9, surprise, surprise, Tim Burton, Frankenweenie. Um, I had seen the short growing up, and then when this movie came out, my wife and I were together, and she got me to watch it. I can't really think of a movie that really you're going to see more Tim Burton on this list. But when it comes to Tim Burton and Halloween, I can't think of a movie that's more synonymous. In all honesty. Number 8. I'm sorry. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Uh, Again, my childhood. Most of these are tied to my childhood. I grew up. I never missed a Halloween or a Charlie Brown holiday special. To me, I always knew that that's when a holiday really started, was when the Charlie Brown special came on. Whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, but of all of them, it's The Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown is probably everyone's favorite. Um, you just can't go wrong with Charlie Brown and Snoopy. Charles Schultz, that created the Peanuts gang, he was an amazing artist, and it's just one of those that, especially as a young child, you have to love. Number 7, Monster Squad. As a child of the 80s who did not love Monster Squad if you liked Halloween. And the reason I say that is, I mean, you had some of the most iconic Universal movie monsters, Frankenstein, Dracula, Gillman, all come together. I mean, for a kid who loved classic monster movies, it was a dream come true. You know, going out hunting monsters and just interacting with the monsters. You couldn't beat it. The next one, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a warning. The next one, I'm going to probably get some slack from you guys for putting it so low on the list, but my number 6, Hocus Pocus. I cannot tell you, I'm filming this at the end of September. That's how early I'm doing it. I can't tell you how many memes I have seen for Hocus Pocus just in the last couple of months. Even back as early as like May and June. People love this movie. It is a classic Halloween movie. I can't disagree. Again, I grew up watching it. I know why everybody loves it, and it's definitely one of my favorites. It's just not my number 1. And we'll get to my number 1. We're hitting the top 5 next. Let's go on to number 5. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I actually debated about several movies for this spot. And the reason being is, to me, Dracula will always be Bela Lugosi. I don't care who else plays him. I don't care how much of a horror movie character they make him out to be. Dracula and Bela Lugosi are synonymous with one another. And this movie combined some of my favorite actors and some of my favorite talents. The elegance of Bela Lugosi, the comedy wit of Abbott and Costello, who are probably two of the great, or is probably the greatest comedy team in history. I mean, you could argue there, and I may actually put this up for debate in the future, between Abbott and Costello, the Marx Brothers, the Stooges, or like Laurel and Hardy. But Abbott and Costello is one of the greatest comedy teams in history. And then just the pure acting ability of Lon Chaney Jr. Of everything on this list, has probably had the best cast in my eyes. And again, it could be argued it should be higher up the list. I thought about it, but you'll see why I did not in a minute. Let's go on. Number 4, Beetlejuice. I remember as a kid, my dad recorded this off TV for me. To this day, I probably still watch Beetlejuice 4 to 5 times a year. It is my comfort movie. It is my go-to movie. When I have nothing else to watch, when I'm sitting home and I'm eating dinner and I'm like, I've got to put something on. Well, There's nothing on TV. What I do, I pop in Beetlejuice. Um, it is probably the movie I have seen the most in my life. I've probably watched it thousands of times, if not more. The only bad thing I could say about it is Tim Burton. We're still waiting for a sequel. Get it done. Uh, I love the cartoon. The movie was way better, and we just need a sequel. Number 3, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I was hesitant about putting this at number 3, plain and simple, because I argue that it's not a Halloween movie. But that's when you really see the midnight showings of Rocky Horror come out. This movie, probably above all others on this list, inspired me as a person. It was my first real experience of seeing drag queens and transgenderism portrayed on screen. The first time I was ever exposed to Rocky Horror, I was in middle school. I was a fan of the Drew Carey show, and they did this little dance sequence on Drew Carey where they did, I believe it was Rocky Horror and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and I saw these characters that I knew and loved from the Drew Carey show dressed up as characters from Rocky Horror, and it just instantly, within seconds, intrigued me. And they did the time. I tell you, I memorized every lyric to every song from this movie. It was about a week later. This movie came on VH1. Wasn't going to be home for it, so I set my old VCR, giving away my age there. Set my VCR to record it. I came home that afternoon. I think I had a baseball game or something, maybe, and watched it. In the first 30 minutes, I was like, yeah. And then I was just like, what am I watching? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching this. And then it was just like, you know what? I don't know why, but this is going to play into my adulthood. And it really did. I mean, this was what first made me think about who I am. And I have a feeling that as we're going through this documentary series, as we're going through Rediscovering Me, I'm probably going to be coming back to Rocky Horror and its influence on me. So we'll see about that. The next one, Halloween Town. Again, one of my comfort movies. I can't think about Halloween without thinking about Halloween Town. I debated between any of the first 3. Halloween Town 2, Caball's Revenge, or Halloween Town High. Halloween Town 4, we're going to pretend that one doesn't exist. But any of the 3 Halloween Towns could fit in this spot. This is one I make a point specifically to watch around Halloween. Just because I would say, above any other movie on this list, it puts me in the Halloween spirit. It's a good family-friendly movie. Watch it with your kids. Watch it with your parents. Watch it with your grandparents. I believe the first time I watched it with my grandma. And I was in high school at the time. And just good memories. Next, the number 1 movie on my list, the number 1 movie to watch on Halloween. And I'm going to say it's not just for Halloween, because I'll probably watch it at least once a week between Halloween and Christmas. That is one of the greatest cinematic works of all time, The Nightmare Before Christmas. It could be argued that this is actually a Christmas movie. It could be argued that it's a Halloween movie. It could be argued any of the above. I argue that you should watch it at least once a week, every week from the beginning of October through the end of December. And you know what? If it's snowing outside, go ahead and watch it through January as well. It is a cinematic masterpiece. If there's a Hall of Fame for movies, it should be a first ballot entry. It's hard to beat The Nightmare Before Christmas in my book. I'd say in my top 10 all-time favorite movies of all time, it's probably in the top 2 or 3. If not number 1. That's going to be a list for another day. But anyway, there just went through my Halloween movies that you have to watch, or my favorite Halloween-themed movies that you have to watch. Being the Halloween season, I know it's Halloween Day when this premieres, so you don't have time to go out and watch all these movies, but you know what? I'm going to be hopefully posting this in the morning that day. Get out, watch as many as you can, and you know what? Take The Nightmare Before Christmas. Go ahead and watch it through till Christmas. And do me a favor, if you like what you saw, click down in the comments, support my Patreon page, buy some merchandise, or you know what? Just leave me some comments. Tell me what you think. Where did I mess up? Should I have raised or lowered one? Give me your top 10. I'm excited to hear from you guys. So until next week, this has been Rediscovering Me. I'm CL Creech. We'll see you guys next week.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out my latest video. If you like what you see, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that little bell so you get the latest notifications of every time I post a new video. Also, check out the links below. There might be some interesting stuff. You want to see me live? Could be. You want to help support the channel and get new content? Could be. You never know. I'm updating it often. Probably more often than this video. Just go subscribe, like, now, and click the links.
We can make a wildfire getaway.